The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. A lot of music news to catch up on this week, including, we'll stay here for about 60 seconds. We'll tell you about something super special, seeing Papa Roach and Shinedown with Q101. But first, the Lollapalooza after shows were announced yesterday, right after we got off the air. Lauren had them for you. In case, let's do a recap of what the Lolla after shows are going to be.
Yeah, the big ones you got to care about because, like it or not, Lollapalooza's coming. It's coming fast. So the after shows, for those that don't know, are intimate, exclusive shows that happen away from Grant Park throughout all of the different venues in Chicago. They start super late at night. Normally, it's a doors at 10, show at 11 situation. So a very late night, very fun shows. Thursday night at the Cobra Lounge, Military Gun, one of my favorite bands. We've had them in the lounge. You've heard the song Do It Faster on Q101. They are playing the Cobra Lounge on Thursday. Friday night, Cannons, who we all know and love. Cannons will be at House of Blues. Last time they were here, they played the Riv, so this is obviously a much more intimate show there. Saturday, Two Door Cinema Club, who also played the Riv this year and sold it out. They are at the Metro. And then Sunday at Lincoln Hall, the final after show there is this year, Frico, a local band from Evanston. They're playing Q101's Picnic at the Taste of Randolph here in just a few weeks. Frico is at Lincoln Hall. I say this, Scouts Honor, Hand to the Sky.
Ooh.
The best concert I've seen this year so far was Frico at the Metro for their record release show in March. If you have the chance to see Frico, whether it's at Picnic, whether it's at Lollapalooza, or whether it's at this after show at Lincoln Hall, go see this band.
Looking forward to seeing them at a Picnic at Taste of Randolph. That's to be the first chance to see them.
Yes, for a lot of people, that will be the next chance that they've had to see them. So it's they're such an exciting young band. I really, really like what they're doing. It's a little reminiscent of Modest Mouse or a band like Bright Eyes. I think they're brilliant songwriters and brilliant musicians, and I'm looking forward to that show in Lincoln Hall.
That's all Kenzie's been talking about is seeing Frico. Well, check them out.
She's a little freak.
Get your Frico. Get your Frico.
Yeah, good local guys doing well. Speaking of Lollapalooza, so Jane's Addiction announced the first tour with the original band members since 2010. So the guitar player, Dave Navarro, apparently is suffering from long COVID for years.
That's right. He had to take off Ink Master because he had long COVID, and that greatly affected me as an Ink Master fan.
Did you ever see that show, Ink Master?
Yes.
So that's his show, and he was also married to Carmen Electra for quite some time.
Man.
But yeah, that's it. He's really in bad shape because they reunited, did some shows without him, and then they came back. Now it's a full original Jane's Addiction lineup. So I mentioned that because Lollapalooza, of course, was created by Perry Farrell, the front man of Jane's Addiction.
I was trying to think. I was like, I think my friend was on Ink Master, but it's not. It was the MTV show where they would give each other bad tattoos.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm
I'm
talking
unfamiliar with that program.
Okay, wait. MTV
I know it.
show, bad
Damn it.
tattoos. It was a bad concept.
No, it was actually pretty good.
How far? Wait, what's the tattoo show on MTV? What is it called?
I'll tell you
just is it just Tattoo of Us? Is that it?
It's a great name.
Is it? Wait, now I gotta look up and see if that's it. Because he was on it. He would do the really bad tattoos.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Now I mis-Googled and Justin Fields came up.
Justin Fields?
Well, because it was a pop down. Hold on.
Clear your cookies, for God's sakes.
Damn it.
We don't need to know any more about Justin Fields for the future.
Okay. I'll let you know. Oh, yeah, just Tattoo of Us. Do you remember this show?
Vaguely. I remember I saw a couple of them. I know that I knew the show.
It was a horrible idea for a show. You got to pick what somebody else was going to get tattooed on them, and they always picked horrible things.
Yeah.
Like toilets and stuff like that. Because, you were a trash boyfriend. It's horrible.
I did that to an old producer.
He was on that show.
Yeah, I did that to an old producer. His name was Dash, and we gave him a tattoo, and he did it because he didn't know what he was going to get. Uh-huh. And the listeners picked. And he got a Juicy tattoo tramp stamp.
It said Juicy?
Yeah, like Juicy sweatpants like girls wear.
Oh, I would have gotten that tattoo.
Unironically.
You would have went sign me up.
Winner, chicken dinner.
So, by the way, Jane's Addiction is going to be at the Aragon then Tuesday, September 24th with Love and Rockets.
Hell yeah.
That is a good show. And I got to say, Jane's Addiction is kind of an unusual band because they were very pivotal in what they did. They exploded onto the scene like late 80s, early 90s in the grunge era. The grunge then took over, and they kind of got overlooked by Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden. But they were certainly pivotal at that time. They had that moment, I like to say. They had a big moment. And then, of course, Perry Farrell for what he's done for Q101 and alternative rock for the last 35 years with Lollapalooza is a whole different story.
Absolutely. So that's going to be a great show. I should note real quick, Brian Phillips has tickets all week this week for that Jane's Addiction show at the Aragon. And Lauren, I don't want to forget Lauren, she has tickets to the Last Dinner Party's Lollapalooza after show all week in the 12 o'clock hour. So all these things we're talking about, you can win your way into as well.
Just so you know, Lauren's on after us, and then Brian Phillips on in the afternoon for your drive home.
It's like
So
a
make
lot
sure
of
to-
stuff.
Lot
You know
of
what
stuff.
I mean? A
It's
lot of
great
things,
stuff. I love it.
A lot of things, a lot of stuff, a lot of winning, a lot of shows.
You want you want more stuff? It's free. So I'll be hosting the lounge this Friday at 3 in the afternoon with Papa Roach. Holy crap, I am stoked about this. Papa Roach. And go to Q101.com for your chance to win your way in. I have loved this band. It seems so, when you go back 20 years now with a band, it's just kind of like, wow, that's been 20 years. So Papa Roach in the lounge this Friday, Q101.com. Be there with me. It's going to be it'll be streamed, of course, on Facebook. And the same deal with Monday, Shinedown in our lounge. Shinedown, Brent Smith of Shinedown coming in, and this has a bigger meaning than just a performance. It's the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. This was his idea to do this with Q101, a very special lounge event to raise awareness and educate on the subject of mental health and suicide prevention.
I have to say, I've never gotten hit up, which is a lot because there's been a lot of amazing shows since I've been at Q101.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot, like
Tons.
an aggressive amount.
Aggressive amount.
Well, it is. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And then also go to the morning show. I don't know about this. But I've never received so many personal messages asking if they can attend a Q101, event, lounge, concert, whatever, because it is going to be obviously like a show and then the mental health panel. I cannot believe, I'm excited about it because it's something he really wanted to do. And it's obviously really touching so many of our listeners because we've gotten an insane outpouring. Can I please come to this? I will stand if there's no chairs. I'm like, people are going to hang from the rafters at this show. It's unbelievable.
And you can watch it live for free on Q101.com and all of our Facebook pages and all of our social. Just make sure you watch. That'll be Monday, also in the afternoon at 3 o'clock. But if you go to Q101.com, you can enter to win a seat in the lounge to do that for that event. That'll be coming up again. All Q101.com has all this stuff on it very easily. And finally, one more thing. We gave away all those festivals in April. Like every week we had a different festival. And one of them,
Fest, baby.
Fest. One of them was the Bottle Rock Napa Valley Festival where Offspring performed. And Ed Sheeran was there as well. Mm-hmm. And he got up and performed with the Offspring.
So if you go to the Offspring social media, they have a video with Ed Sheeran. Turns out, and I did not know this, Ed Sheeran, huge fan of the Offspring, and came in and was like, I want to do this song and I want to play it this way, and I've thought about it a lot, and this is how it should be. And then he got up on stage and played with the Offspring at the Napa Valley Bottle Rock Festival.
And I gotta say, I watched the video. They played Million Miles Away. What an obscure Offspring song to perform.
Exactly. It's not exactly come out and play.
And they had about a 2-minute intro to bringing him out and why the Offspring meant so much to Ed Sheeran. Now, when he comes out with his guitar and he has sleeve tattoos, you kind of forget about that on Ed Sheeran. He looks like a member of the Offspring.
He does. He actually does.
I mean, he got up there and he performed, and here's some of what it sounded like. And it was incredible. He's playing guitar and singing with him. That's Ed Sheeran.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's
That was...
what are you going to say?
I didn't think that was him. I'm like, waiting for him to come in.
Yeah. Dexter they're going back and forth, trading vocals, Dexter and him.
I feel like a lot of people don't realize this about Ed Sheeran is he truly loves all form of music. So if you don't follow him, he puts out albums they're just collaboration albums, the whole thing. And each song is basically a different genre with his favorite artist from that genre. So he has songs with Eminem and Lana Del Rey, and it's across the board.
Yeah.
He's just obsessed with every genre of music.
It's apparent here. And he's got his guitar on. He's just totally got the front left leg forward. He's rocking out like a metal dude.
It's good to see.
I love it. Well, with that video up there at Q101.com as well. So cool. I'm glad we got one of our listeners to witness that live, a full trip to that show, the Napa Valley Bottle Rock Festival. So congrats to that winner that went out there and saw that live. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
All right, the television season is over. It kind of ends in the middle of the year, starts in the middle of the year, the new one. But so the number one shows, or the top 10 shows for the past television season from 2023 to 2024, it's in the books. Here are the top 10 most watched series and their average viewership. And a lot of people guessed. Some of these you got right. Tons of people texted in trying to figure out what number one was.
Can we guess real quick?
Sure.
Is it Yellowstone? Because the problem with Yellowstone is not only do people like the show, but everybody loves talking about how Yellowstone's not respected enough.
I feel like it gets a lot of respect.
But there was this whole thing of like, oh, it's on TV and it doesn't have the buzz that the bear does. I saw a whole article about people not respecting Yellowstone. I don't know. I feel like that's number one.
Huh.
I'm a little annoyed by it.
Maybe
Relax.
you should clear your cookies, too, in your timeline and get those people out of your life.
I really want to start Yellowstone.
I wanted to start Yellowstone, too. I missed it, and it's like
You've
6
missed
seasons.
all of it.
6 seasons?
Oh, it's 6 seasons?
Yeah, it's a
There's
lot.
a lot to it.
Well,
Yeah.
that ship has sailed, huh?
Yeah.
That's a daisy.
Doesn't it suck when you have a show like that and you're like, how can I get? That's a lot of my life
The
to catch
worst
up
is
on.
like when you want to finish something and then it is a really popular show, so the finale goes viral. That's how I feel about Game of Thrones. I watched all of it except for the last season because I was moving during the last season. And then I no longer had my ex's login services. So I was
Oh,
like, yeah, right.
boy.
So anyways.
That's a buzzer.
I was like, I can't. Not going to be able to watch this, huh? And then the whole ending went viral. And now I'm rewatching it right now because I started doing that during the maternity leave. Baby's a big Game of Thrones guy. And I'm like, I know how it's going to end, and it makes me mad. Every time I watch an episode, I'm like, well, it better not actually end like this, even though I saw it all online.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's how I feel internally when, like, I hate when endings get released because it just ruined. Now I'm stressed out the whole time.
Also, it sucks when you can just go, well, I can just read on Wikipedia what happened. And I'll just.
don't do that.
That's a real martyr
You know
role.
what I always used to do?
Oh,
my God,
no.
that just reminded me, Brian. Every time I would read a book, I liked to read the last page.
What?
I swear to God, because I always enjoyed how none of it made sense, and then like a week later, all of it made sense.
My mom does this with TV shows. If she starts a show that has already began and then ended, she'll watch the finale so that she's not startled by anything, so that there's no big like jump scare in the finale, and then she'll go back and watch the show from the start.
I don't want to get startled.
Okay, see, it's not. But like like when you read the last page of a book, you don't even know the characters' names. It means nothing. And then like a week later, you're like, I get it. I'm invested,
Wow.
and I find it exciting.
I've never heard of that psycho move.
I don't like that at all.
That's a very interesting move. So let's get to it right now. Top 10 shows.
Sorry, I don't need to burst my bubble.
It's not Yellowstone?
Well, it's not. And
Okay.
I want to qualify this list because I want to make sure I completely understand it as the TV season, the books. These are mostly network TV shows.
Yes.
So AMC is not network, or Netflix doesn't release exact numbers. They might just say this thing had streamed this many hours. So this is actually watching good old-fashioned TV networks, the shows and the numbers of people that watch. So number 10 is 60 Minutes. On CBS, 8.3 million people average watch that. It's a big number.
I watch it almost every week. I love it.
I don't watch it every week, but you fall into it, and I kind of feel like my grandmothers are around when I'm watching it, which I miss. Both my grandmothers have passed, and I kind of feel like because my grandmothers always sat and watched. We watched 60 Minutes after Sunday dinner, and they'd watch it, and I just feel like they're there when I'm watching 60 Minutes. Is that weird?
That's really weird.
It's like 60 Minutes with your grandma.
Yeah,
That's
it
nice.
is.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's touching.
And they're really good interviews. Blue Bloods on CBS is number 9 with 8.4 million viewers. Has Tom Selleck, who was in Magnum P.I.
Yeah,
back
that's
in
the
the day.
mustache guy, right?
It's also got Donnie Wahlberg, who is married to Jenny McCarthy, lives here in St. Charles, I believe, in Chicago.
Also missing the big part of that.
What's the other part?
Related to Mark Wahlberg.
Well,
You know, Donnie,
okay.
because it was a big popular family.
You know what's funny is I hear Donnie Wahlberg, I just think of Jenny McCarthy.
That's really weird.
He would love to hear that.
Yeah.
That would be so refreshing for him.
Yeah, I think they live in St. Charles, and of course he flies back and forth to New York for the filming of that. Also in New Kids on the Block. Might remember that? Donnie Wahlberg.
Was he in New Kids?
Yeah, he was New Kids.
Wow. He was one of the new kids, huh? I didn't know that.
Okay, number 8, Chicago Fire, filmed right here in Chicago on
Wow,
NBC.
that's exciting.
Got 8.8 million. I'm just going to say right now, that's the only Chicago of those shows, which I love Chicago PD.
Really? I thought PD was more popular than Fire.
So did I.
Whoa.
And there's
But
Chicago.
as Brian's talked about, Chicago PD had to change the rules for the the way the police in the current show, and it's not as good anymore.
Hank Voight went woke, and it's like, I miss when Hank
Like,
Voight...
you could just fill out this paperwork. It's way more boring. It's like the actual process.
Hank, you turn off your body cam footage. That's going to be a problem.
When Hank Voight used to take a guy, and he goes like, leave me alone with him, and he puts him in the kitchen and puts his hand on the stove. That's what I want from Hank Voight.
Yeah, because he smoked weed and he deserves it, right?
That's right.
He's like, finally, justice.
I don't want Hank Voight going, well, we better follow the rules. It's a bunch of
Things are getting
BS.
pretty rough out there.
That's the worst.
That's why Chicago Fire's ahead of it now.
I guess. The firemen don't follow the rules on Chicago Fire. Okay, number 7 is a show I've never seen, but I know of it. CBS, it's called FBI. It's on CBS. Do you know that show, Kenzie? FBI? I've seen a commercial for it.
I don't know. Has it been around forever? Isn't it like FBI, NCI, CIS?
I didn't.
SIC.
Well, you're giving a hint to what's coming up, but FBI is 7 with 8.96 million people average watch. So a lot of people texted. I think this was the most texted show everybody checked out to see what was number 1. Young Sheldon is 9.1 million on CBS average viewers.
Is that from Big Bang Theory? Is that the spinoff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's a funnier show.
That doesn't say a lot. I did not find Big Bang Theory funny at all.
People
I hope
love
so. I know.
love Big Bang Theory, and I hear the same
Every
thing.
4 seconds, laugh track. It drove me nuts. Couldn't do it.
People laughing and having a good time drives you nuts.
No, the laugh track of like every sentence. I'm like, it's a punchline.
But I hear the same thing you said, that people think Young Sheldon's better than Big Bang Theory.
All I'm saying is I see some clips of Young Sheldon, and I go, you know what? That is one funny kid. I like that show.
So what Kenzie just said, number 5 is NCIS, which feels like it's been on our whole lifetime. 9.7 million people watch it. Now, I'm going to skip number 4 and go right to 3, 2, 1 as the number 1 shows in America during the last TV season. Number 3, Thursday Night Football. Now, that's on Prime Video, and that's 11.97 million people, number 3. Guess what number 2 was?
What?
Monday Night Football.
Oh, okay.
11.98 million people on ABC. Guess what number 1 was?
Hit me with it.
Sunday Night Football. Dun, dun. I mean, it makes sense. And they blow away everybody. Almost 20 million people watch Sunday Night Football every week.
Wow.
And it just shows the power of football and what they do.
We love it. So why do you skip number 4?
Because I don't understand this one at all. Number 4 is a show, like I've heard of these shows and haven't seen them. Mm-hmm. Kenzie.
What?
Have you heard of the show Tracker? As she thinks her brain's going to explode.
I thought there was going to be more.
Yeah, that's it.
Tracker.
The show-
like that.
The show's called Tracker. It came in number 4. So it's really the most popular show with a storyline.
Sounds like Hunger Games-y.
Here's
Tracker.
What is Tracker? I've never heard of this show.
10.8 million people watch it a week. So it's really number 1 outside of sports. It's a number 1 show on TV because other ones are all Thursday, Monday, and Sunday Night Football.
It's called Tracker?
Yeah, Tracker. If you want
What is Tracker?
Okay, here's what Tracker is.
Yeah,
okay?
can I get a plot
Here's the plot.
before I think people are killing each other on TV?
Here we go.
Okay.
Colton Shaw travels the country in his old school RV, helping police and private citizens solve crimes and locate missing persons until his last case changes everything. That's Tracker.
That's it.
That's Tracker?
That's it. I thought I was selling it.
That sounds so boring.
Well, let's see if the trailer will do any help. We've never seen this show. Not anybody seen Tracker out there? Text it on it, but here's the trailer for the show. Ooh.
You collect rewards, right?
I prefer the term rewardist. Everyone's looking for something.
Sounds cool.
It is cool, actually. Very cool.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm a professional. This is how I make my living.
How you survive
Is you make quick, smart decisions. You remain calm. You never let panic take the wheel.
I don't know how to repay you.
It's just the reward money's fine. I believe it was 50 grand. All right, team.
I need your help.
Check this out.
You know what the problem with you is, Coulter Shaw? You're so damn interesting.
Tracker premieres after Super Bowl 58 on CBS.
Oh, so it premiered after the Super Bowl this year.
Okay, so this is fraudulent. This is a fraudulent number 4 because what happened was
They padded their numbers?
Exactly. This show premiered after the Super Bowl. You said it averaged 10.8 million viewers an episode. That's how it ended up number 4 in the most watched shows of this past season.
Go off, Queen.
I just looked this up. Debut episode after the Super Bowl averaged 18.4 million viewers.
Okay.
The next episode, 6 million viewers. It completely fell off a cliff. It's only number 4 because of the Super Bowl.
It's the hanging Chad thing.
Tracker, I barely know her. Oh. Sorry.
How long were you thinking of that joke when you heard Tracker?
Wait for Case to be done.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So we just went down the top 10 TV shows of the last year. The first 3 are all football. Sunday, Monday, and Thursday football. The number one show, so you call it number one show that has like a storyline, is Tracker. And none of us had ever even heard of it. Our listeners have. You guys checked in, so it's a great show. It's also available to stream on Paramount. And then we just blew Kenzie's mind because she was kind of going like, yeah, whatever, this show. And then we said this guy named Justin Hartley's the star. He's the Tracker. And she went,
He's the
"What?"
Tracker?
He's the Tracker. And Kenzie went, what?
I guess the problem is that he's too interesting. I don't know if you've seen Justin Hartley, but this tracks, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah, he's delightful. He was in
He's
Kevin.
delightful.
Kevin, and This Is Us.
So all I said was, Kenzie, Google it on IMDb and just tell me if you think that guy's attractive. And then she went, wait, Justin Hartley? Yowza.
Yeah. No, now it makes sense. It probably is the most watched show.
Well, This Is Us was the most watched show back in the day. That's gone, right, that show?
It ended.
Yeah. All I know is it made men cry, that show. Everybody I know it's a guy
I
said
used
they
to call
cried.
it This Is Sad. Every episode it made you want to just die. It
Yeah.
was really hard.
I didn't need it. I didn't need it.
It was a great show. It got crappy during COVID. They really screwed the pooch.
Oh, one of the
during-
casualties of the pandemic. This Is Us.
Yeah, it was pretty upsetting. I don't think
Wait,
they
so
realized.
it was already sad and they added COVID into the storyline?
Well,
or?
here's the thing. I don't think they realized that we would all like to watch it and not experience COVID during the show. You don't have to do that. It's not like, well, what are we gonna do with these guys? Like, they don't have to talk about it. And I think it was a dumb thing to do with a TV show because in 20 years, like people still watch Seinfeld. They watch older shows. People are like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Because there was no context. They weren't like, it didn't set this thing where a huge pandemic. Everyone's just all of a sudden wearing face masks.
Yeah.
And like one scene, the dad walks in and goes, don't worry, I'm vaccinated. I'm like, oh, just fix the ceiling lamp. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't have to, nobody with their family enters with their hands up. And so like, what is happening? And then what really was the problem is that Justin Hartley, Kevin on the show, knocked up a chick, and everyone hated it.
On This Is Us?
Yes. And everyone hated it, but it was supposed to be like real life. Hello, happens. And what was annoying is that he had a high school sweetheart that everyone loved, and they wanted them to get back together.
Oh.
But the girl he knocked up, get this, was the writer's wife. So we made this whole story plot for her, and everyone's like, yeah, we hate her. And it didn't go well. And he was supposed to marry her and do all this, and they kind of ended that. Like, no, we're just friends that are going to co-parent. And then he ends up with the high school sweetheart again, which I completely believe was due to backlash. I think the plan was for him to end up with this girl 1,000%. And they got so much backlash from it that they were like, oh, never mind, we got to end this fake relationship. People are losing it.
All of that just sounded like Megan's 22-year-old sister explaining like her last relationship. And I'm kind of going, well, okay, yep, I got it. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yes.
Very, very sad. Wow. Okay, thanks for keeping me up to date on that.
Really made me
no
realize
idea.
I don't know what This Is Us was about after hearing that.
I honestly don't know what it was
I
about.
don't know what that show is now.
I just know that it made men cry, and I'm like, I don't need that.
It's just supposed to be a show genuinely about like life. So it's like these kids who grow up, their dad died when they were in high school and the mom raised them. But everyone's got like their own story. So it's very relatable. There's like marriages and divorces and people passing and but like it would be funny sometimes when they're falling in love and it doesn't work out. So it's supposed to be like a real life show.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be.
And the guy from Tracker is on it. And now he's on Tracker.
Was it like Sad Modern Family?
Kind of. It was
Okay.
Sad Modern Family.
Wow. I don't want to watch that.
There was moments that made you laugh for sure. It was supposed to be like one of those, when you watch a movie and it's like, that's real life,
Yeah.
Just it's the real stuff. It's not all happy all the time. That's what it was like.
I do that with Entourage. That's real life.
Not similar.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.